Hello, and welcome back to Funnelheads. My name is Andrew, and today we have the full ship tour of the Carnival Paradise, which we recently spent 4 nights on, sailing to Cozumel, Mexico. Now, if you're interested in booking this ship, or maybe you're already booked, just want more information, I created a playlist of all of our videos from this ship specifically. So if you want to see our family vlogs, likes and dislikes, the review, everything that's included on this ship, and so much more, click on the playlist. I'll put it at the end of the video as well as the description box. Now, of course, if you have any questions while we're going through the ship tour, make sure you put them in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now, before we get into the tour itself, let's go over some of the specs of this ship. Now, the Carnival Paradise is one of the oldest Carnival ships still in service. She was built in 1998. She has 10 passenger decks to explore, a length of 855 feet. She weighs approximately 70,367 gross tons. At double occupancy, she fits 2,052 passengers and another 920 crew. When she was built, she cost approximately $300 million. And a fun fact, when she debuted, she was actually the world's first non-smoking cruise ship until 2003. Also, the last time this ship was dry docked was 2023, and at the time they enhanced the piano bar, expanded the casino, refreshed the Serenity to add a hot tub, and just enhanced the ship overall. Alright, so we're going to start this ship tour on deck 7, which is the Empress deck. The reason we're starting on deck 7 and not one of the lower decks is because the lower decks are only cabins, so we're skipping all the way up to 7, and this is going to be the art gallery. This showcases all the different artists from around the world, and they do hold art auctions on board as well. Now, moving out of the art gallery, on deck 7 you do have the main atrium. This is basically going to be the heartbeat of the ship. A lot of different things happening here, and this is going to be one of the first views that you see, and I absolutely love it. I still get chills coming on board these ships and seeing just how big they really are, even though this is considered a smaller ship nowadays. Of course, you do have the main bar here. Behind the bar, you do have where the live music performs. Now, right off of the atrium, you do have guest services, so if you have any issues, have a question, anything like that, you can go right there and they will be happy to assist you. Now, right off the atrium, you also have the Carnival Adventure Store, a great little souvenir shop if you need a sun shirt, different sunscreen, water bottles, things like that. Now, you do have 2 main staircases that you'll see that go up to deck 8. These are great spots for pictures. They do have photographers that will take your picture professionally that you can buy, but you can also do it yourself as long as it's not currently being used by that photographer. Now, off the sides of the atrium, you have plenty of seating room if you just want to, watch the live music, or want to chat with family or friends. Now, we did go during Halloween, so they did have Patches, the pumpkin mascot, that actually talks randomly, but he does say some really cool things. And of course, the atrium is decorated for Halloween. In this area, you also have the shore excursions desk, so if you need to book an excursion, or if you have questions or need assistance, they can help you out there as well. And as we go up the staircase to deck 8, which is the Atlantic deck, we'll get another view of the atrium. You can see how it's decorated for Halloween, and it goes really well with the Paradise's floral look. Of course, you have the stage there that the live music plays, and a lot of times they do host different activities, especially the cruise director in the atrium, like Motown, for example. Now, as we're coming off of the main staircase in the atrium on deck 8, we're headed to the fun shops towards the front of the ship, as well as the main theater. This is going to be the main shopping on board. They do set up quite a bit of tables, like Inch of Gold, as well as like watch sales, t-shirt sales, things like that during your cruise. The first shop on the right is going to be your makeup, your perfumes and colognes, jewelry. So if you're looking to get, a special treat for yourself or for others perhaps, this is a great store to do that. It is tax-free, duty-free, and it does come with a good warranty. Now across the way you do have the fun shop, which is more geared towards like a souvenir store. So like basic t-shirts, jackets, little trinkets, magnets, shot glasses, ship models, all of that good stuff you will find here. We absolutely love collecting the ship models while we're on board. Not only Carnival ones, but just ship models in general. It's just one of those things that we decided to collect. And from the fun shops, continuing forward on deck 8, you have the Normandie Lounge, which is going to be the main theater for your cruise. And you'll probably be in this theater at least once a day, specifically for the nightly shows. Now they do host quite a bit in here, including bingo, deal or no deal, love and marriage show, different playlist performances, live music, and so much more. As you can see, beautiful room and very large for this size ship. We never had a problem finding a seat, even if it was, 5 minutes before showtime. But if you do want, a better seat or one of the better seats, especially up front, definitely get there, a little early. I would say 15 or 20 minutes. Now, like I said, this main theater does take up 2 decks. So this is actually deck 9, which is the Promenade deck. And just to give you a little bit of another viewpoint. Now continuing around the atrium on deck 9, you do have Circle C, which is going to be the teens program. This is for 12 and 14-year-olds to meet up, and they do host different activities like dancing, singing, video games, movies, and so much more. This is just a quick shot of the venue while we were trick-or-treating to get an idea of what the room looks like. Also around the atrium on deck 9, you have the American Piano Bar, which was a great time. We spent, some of our time on board in this venue. I would recommend getting here early. It can fill up. It's not the biggest venue on the ship, so if you have a great performer, which they always do, just get there a little bit early so that way you can grab a seat and be able to, enjoy the activities. Of course, this is like a sing-along, request different songs. Sometimes, guests or different crew members also, kind of sing along with the piano player, and it's just always a good time. Great way to meet people. Now, the hours are usually open at 9 p.m. and in the first hour or so, they kind of do more of a PG rated performance, and then after, I would say 10:30 or so, they go to a more adult themed performance, which can be very funny. Now, on the opposite side of the atrium, you do have one more store, which is the Portside Liquor and Tobacco Store. This has a variety of different liquors and mixers that you can purchase, again, tax-free, duty-free, as well as different tobacco products like cigarettes as well as cigars. One thing to note is if you buy liquor in this store, you are not allowed to keep it during your cruise. They actually package it and then deliver it to your cabin on the last night. And also off the atrium on deck 9, you have the library, which I believe is called Blue Riband Library, if I pronounce that correctly. I'm surprised they still had the library when we got on board. Usually they've been replacing them. But it is nice to have, of course, if you want to play some games in there. They have different board games available. Of course, you can bring board games as well. They also have books that you can borrow if you finished the book that you brought and want another one. Working in here is great too if you do remote work or whatnot, or have to catch up with something. But it's nice to see, and I love the way it's decorated. And lastly, on deck 8, you have the Elation restaurant, which is the main dining room for your time dining. This, of course, is the nod to the Carnival Elation, the sister ship of the Carnival Paradise and is still actively sailing as well. Like I said, this is your time dining, so you basically request a table. Usually it's about a 20-minute wait, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes less, and you can go basically as soon as they open to close time, and I believe that runs about 5:30 to 9. Now moving up to Deck 9, which is Promenade. This is going to be around the Atrium outside of that main theater. And the first venue is going to be the Warehouse Arcade, which is not the largest arcade in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but it does have everything that you would expect: claw games, random win prize games, shoot 'em games, driving and racing, and all of the above. They do have warehouse packages that you can buy. Basically, you spend a certain amount and get a little bit of free play. So if you have somebody in your party that you know is going to be using the arcade quite a bit, that might be one of the routes to go. Now throughout this area on Deck 9, you do have the Pixel Photo Gallery. This is going to be displaying all of the photos that you've taken throughout the cruise, whether it's before you got on the ship, while you're on board, at the destinations, and just around about. They also have the tablets scattered about where you can see your pictures on the tablet, but you can also bring them up on the Carnival Hub app as well, which is way easier. So I highly recommend, you bringing your phone on board and downloading that Carnival Hub app. You can purchase the pictures directly from the app, and it makes life way easier. Now also next to Pixel's gallery, you have Club O2, which is going to be your 15 to 17-year-old meetup spot. As you can see, it's a nice venue that includes a dance floor. They have different activities that they do throughout there, but mainly it's for those age groups to meet and kind of make friends early on and throughout the cruise. Now as we make our way to the aft of the ship, we're going to be walking through the Carnival Boulevard Promenade, and right as you get into this area, you do have the Bonsai Sushi Express. This is not a sit-down specialty restaurant, but if you want to get your sushi fix in, they do have a small menu that you can order from and take it on the go. Of course, a large part of this area is going to be the Majestic Casino, a pretty large casino on board. Lots of different variety as far as slot games, as well as table games. We enjoyed our time in the casino. We don't play the casino too much, and because this was only a 4-night cruise, we weren't really in here all that much. Maybe about an hour, maybe 2 from day to day, depending on the day. I will say we didn't have luck, unfortunately, in this casino, but there was a lot of other people that did, and it's always nice to see somebody win, even if it's not yourself. Now, as far as getting a drink in the casino, it was very easy. Lots of different crew running drinks back and forth to and from the bar, and if you didn't want to wait at a specific machine, they do have a bar right outside of the casino that's technically a part of the casino. As far as smoking in the casino, there is a section that is non-smoking, but it's basically part of the same room, so you are going to get some smoke. However, it really wasn't that bad. Michelle and me both don't smoke, and we weren't really bothered unless somebody was sitting right next to us, which if that was the case, we just moved machines and it was not a big deal whatsoever. Some of our favorite slot machines in the casino were the Mo Mummy game, I think that's what it's called, and the All Aboard Train, I think that's what it's called, something like that. Don't quote me on the exact name of the game, but we had some luck with them, plus the animations are just really fun. A lot of people were winning on them. Unfortunately, we weren't, but we still had fun playing, like I said. Now, like I said, right outside of the casino in the Promenade Boulevard area, you do have the American Bar. There is actually a stage in this area as well that had live music, kind of late afternoon into the late evening. Different artists, they would rotate throughout the ship, but usually like a band setup would play. There is a small dance floor here as well. And if you're into sports, they do have sports games playing on the TV on the back of the bar. Now, right near the bar, there's actually a special occasion shop, which if you didn't walk past here in this little hallway, you would not find it. It is the smallest store ever, but if you need, you know, flowers, champagne, some candy for sweet tooth craving or whatnot, it's a great little store. Rhett got some, you know, different types of gummies and stuff for movie night one night. Now, continuing on the promenade, you do have these quote-unquote secret steps. Of course, they're obvious, but they do connect, you know, the casino area up to the Lido deck, so that way you can pop up and down quickly without going around the entire ship, which is very nice. There's lots of different seating in this promenade area, so it's great, you know, for reading, maybe playing some card games, enjoying a coffee while you're sailing or whatnot. And they do hold trivia in this area as well. Now, there are a couple of venues off of that promenade. This is going to be the Leonardo Lounge. I believe they hold like karaoke in here for the most part. However, when we used the room, it was for the Diamond brunch party. They serve different hors d'oeuvres, drinks, as well as, you know, introducing, you know, the officers, the captain, cruise director, all of that. It was a really, really fun party and we loved it. But that was the only time we came in this room besides to film it, of course. Now, outside the Leonardo Lounge, you do have the Java Blue Cafe, which of course is going to be your specialty coffee venue. So if you are a coffee lover, this is where you're going to go to pick that up. They also have like pastries and other different small miscellaneous items. Now, next to Java Blue, you have the Rex Dance Club. I love this venue. It definitely is like outdated, but it is bold, and you know, you just gotta love some of the designs of the 90s. But this is the dance club, so if you're wanting to dance late at night, they do have a live DJ. This room is massive as well, plenty of seating, plenty of dance floors. We did not go in here at night to participate in the dancing, but they did hold the Halloween costume party in here for the kids, and they were dancing, and it was so fun to see. Now, right next to the dance club, you do have a small boutique shop, a guest shop. They have like purses, handbags, small clothing, and stuff like that. So just a nice addition to the ship. Now, as we near the aft of the ship, they do have two separate displays, which I always really appreciate. These are all the like plaques and gifts that the Carnival Paradise received throughout the years. Perhaps it was, you know, the first call of the ship, or, you know, maybe celebrating something. But I always like going through and reading all the different, you know, places that the ship has been, you know, where it's been. It's really, really neat. Now, we're actually going to walk through the Rotterdam bar real quick. We will look at it as we come out of the Punchliner comedy, but this is going to be where your stand-up comedians are going to perform their acts. Usually they have rotating acts with different material. Sometimes it is the same show, but they do try to switch it up at least, you know, every day or whatnot. There is a very large bar in here, so if you need a drink, you know, while watching the comedians before or after, that is available to you as well. They do use this room for a couple of different activities as well, but primarily it is for the comedians to perform. Now at the back of this venue, if you go through the doors, you are actually in Serenity, which is super strange for the fantasy class. Of course, this area was not always Serenity, so they changed it, you know, back in the day, but it is Serenity now. But of course, this is the adults only area, which you have comfortable loungers, some shade, umbrellas, the hot tub, comfortable towels, so on and so forth. Great spot if you're, you know, trying to nap, read a book, or just kind of get away from the mass. Now, like I said, on the way to comedy, we were going to walk back through the Rotterdam bar, and this is just another bar on the ship. I was very surprised that they did not transition this into the Alchemy bar, which is so popular on Carnival. They've done that with the Elation as well as the Ecstasy, which is no longer sailing. So I was surprised to see that it was just another normal bar, but they did have sports on in this area on both port and starboard side, especially college football, NFL, as well as soccer. So if you're looking for live sports and it's not playing in the casino, definitely check this area. Now on the aft of the ship, on deck 9, we're actually going to go down to deck 8 once again, and this is the Destiny restaurant. This is the other main dining room for early or late time set dining. So if you have a specific time that you're going to be eating each and every day, this is the dining room that you would come from. And fun fact, the Destiny used to be a Carnival cruise ship and is still technically sailing, but under another name. Do you know what the name of that ship is right now? And this is just the elevator shafts right outside the Rotterdam bar back on deck 9. Just love this beautiful piece of art. Now we are moving up to deck 10, which is the Lido deck. This is going to be right in the Atrium area, so we are midship. We're going to be going out to the Lido deck from here. And of course, this is the main pool area. On one side, you do have the Blue Iguana tequila bar that features different tequila cocktails as well as others. And if you actually go behind this bar on either side of the ship, it leads you to an outer decking area. It doesn't wrap around the ship, but you can get all the way to the front of the ship. And as you can see, those steps coming up, right behind it is actually the bridge, which was really cool to see, you know, the ship maneuvering, especially when we were leaving from port. Of course, going up the steps is going to be all the way to the bow of the ship, or at least as far as you can go as a guest on board. The crew can go a little bit further down below, as you'll see, but a really beautiful area, great spot to clear the mind, take some pictures, videos, and just take in the sights of this beautiful ship. Now we're back at the main pool deck. Of course, you have a nice sized pool, and there's 2 hot tubs on either side of the pool. Loungers for days. Love the little yellow umbrellas that are open when the ship is, you know, stopped for the day. On the opposite side of the Blue Iguana tequila bar, you do have the Red Frog rum bar. Our favorite place to grab a drink. We are definitely Red Frog rum bar people. That's where you'll probably see us if we're on board a ship that you're going on. And our favorite drink is a cruiser. Absolutely delicious. Give it a try if you've never had it. Now this stage in the middle here is primarily where the cruise director as well as the fun squad is going to be to do their activities like Legends of Lido, cornhole, different deck parties, whether it's the mega deck party, white night, so on and so forth. Now moving inside on deck 10, you have the Paris Lido restaurant. This is going to be the buffet on board the Carnival Paradise, where you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as late night snacks. They do have, of course, your dessert bar, ice cream stations, salad stations, and so much more. Now this is filmed in the morning, so a lot of the different stations are set up for, of course, breakfast style items like the omelet stations. But of course, at different times of the day, you would have the pizzeria on board serving hot, fresh, different styles of pizza, pepperoni, margarita, cheese, 4 cheese, whatnot. Excellent, as well as the deli, which serves hot and cold items, as well as chips. Love the deli. It's one of my favorite places to eat on board. They do have a bar in the area as well, so if you need a drink, bottled water, different sodas, whether it's Coke or an alcoholic beverage, you can get it from right there. Now coming from the buffet back to the Lido area, you do have the famous Guy's Burger, which everyone raves about. I think it's delicious. Sometimes it is hit or miss, especially with the fries, but most of the time it is very, very good. I just love getting the cheeseburger and then just topping it with all the different toppings that they have at the toppings bar. It is fantastic. Now opposite of Guy's Burger, you do have the Blue Iguana Cantina, where you can get different types of breakfast items, including burritos, huevo ranchero, I believe is how you say it, or Mexican style eggs, as well as other things for breakfast. And then for lunch, of course, you can get, different burritos as well as tacos. They usually have like chicken, pork, sometimes fish that you can put in those tacos. Absolutely delicious. And they have a toppings bar as well. Now we're back outside on that exterior decking that wraps around the Lido deck, and if you take it to the aft of the ship, as long as the ship's not moving, they'll have chairs set up with tables, and this was our favorite spot to grab a bite to eat or just to drink our coffee. While the ship was moving, you can just, take in all the sights around you. Of course, if it's really hot out or super windy, it's not going to be the place for you. But for the most part, as long as weather's, cooperating, you'll have a good time. And again, this is where you would find us if we were on a fantasy class ship. Now taking the steps up from this area, we go to deck 11, which is Verandah, and we are on the aft of the ship. And of course, this is where the Carnival Waterworks is located. But first, we gotta look at the aft flow here. I love the shot of this ship specifically because you got Serenity and then, just the wake of the ship. Lots of loungers in this area, a wide open space. The problem with this area is that there's no shade whatsoever. So if you're not actively, going down the water slides or whatnot, you are going to be very hot. So if you're looking to tan, it's probably the place for you, but it's not very windy up here, and we were just boiling watching little man ride the slides. Of course, we joined in with him for a while. Behind the waterworks area, you do have a large chess board, so if you're into playing some chess, really, really fun time. Now moving up from deck 11 to deck 12, still on the aft of the ship, this is going to be the sports deck. And this is where you're going to go up to get on some of these slides on the one side. These are the ones that Rhett absolutely loved. He went on them probably about 500 times, and we were racing on them as well. Unfortunately, they would not let me record any of the water slides, so I couldn't get any film going down them this time. I don't know if that's a new policy or whatnot, but in the past I was able to do it, so I'm not really sure. Of course, you got a great view of the funnel from this deck, one of our favorite things on a Carnival cruise ship, or just ships in general, of course. That's why we're called the Funnel Head. Love us some funnels on the ships. They're so unique, and just love seeing them from a distance. Reminds us of amazing days. Besides coming up here to get on the slides on either side, you do have some nice views of the entire ship. Again, a nice little spot to just kind of observe, clear the mind, maybe do some people watching. And on the other side of the ship of deck 12, you have the Twister water slide entrance. The minimum height to go on this slide is going to be 48 inches, and they do have a max weight of 300 pounds as well. But if you're looking to go down the water slide, this is where you would come up and you climb that spiral staircase and have a good old time. Now we're back on deck 10, moving to midship, because we're going to get across the ship, see the main pool area from one deck above, as well as get to the top decks on the front of the ship. Now right here near this railing is a great spot to be for the deck parties, especially sail away and some of the late night parties. If you don't want to dance, you can actively watch, listen, and still have a good time. Now, as you can see, that round room right above the Lido deck, that's actually going to be the camp on either side for the younger kids, which we're going to see in just a little bit. This is a great seating area for some shade. Now on the opposite side is actually the smoking section, which is also in shade. So if you're a smoker, that's where you're going to go on the Lido deck. Now we're going up to deck 12 again, all the way forward on the ship, inside, and like I said, this is going to lead to Camp Ocean. Now it is separated by age group. Of course, I wasn't able to get video inside of Camp Ocean just for privacy rules, but this side is the penguins and turtles, so the littles, and on the other side is going to be where our son goes, little man. This is broken up into sharks as well as stingrays. And one last view of the atrium from the top deck and all the way down. It is beautiful. Love the LED lights, the floral design, and just the overall look. Now turning around from the atrium, you do have the Cloud 9 Spa. Now there are different venues inside the spa, like the fitness center, which we'll get to in a second. Now off the main lobby here in the spa, you do have the relaxation room. This is going to be the room where you go before your treatment, whether it's a massage, facial, so on and so forth. This is one of the hallways that you're going to go down if you choose to do a massage. You got the massage table all set up, ready to go. Of course, you have the locker room. Of course, this is the men's locker room, but they're pretty much set up the same way. One thing I did want to point out, that if you have a lot of people in your room, especially like adults, if you're sharing cabins, the spa is a great place to use the restroom or to take a shower. It's very, very clean, so don't hesitate to use that facility. Of course, inside the spa, they also have the sauna and steam room, although it's quite dark. You can't really tell exactly what it is, but I'm sure you've all seen a steam room. And then they also have the fitness studio, which you can sign up for the classes. I think it's a nominal fee. Now, of course, you do have a full-size gym, which is actually really large for this size ship, and it is all the way forward, although it is dark out. You have some breathtaking views of, the destination that you're at for the day, or, of course, the surrounding sea. But they'll have everything that you need in here, whether it's free weights, different machines like ellipticals, treadmills, so on and so forth. They have everything that you need if you want to get a nice workout in. Now back outside, moving up to deck 14, which is the grand deck. You're gonna have shuffleboard here as well as mini golf, but we'll get to mini golf in just a second. We're gonna actually go up to deck 15 all the way forward first, and this is the sun deck, a wide open area. Not really much going on up here, although I did see somebody using it as like a almost jogging track. They were exercising, which I thought was a really good idea if you want to get your exercise in, you know, outside. But other than that, not a whole lot going on here. It is a pretty cool area if you're going under any of the bridges, you know, out of Tampa Bay, or if the ship gets relocated, it would be a cool spot to see, you know, the ship going under the bridge. Now moving back down to deck 14, you do have the mini golf course. This is of course absolutely free, as well as the shuffleboard. I would recommend doing it while the ship is stopped or on a day where the weather is just really nice. Otherwise it's gonna be insanely windy and you're probably not gonna be able to play very well. But other than that, that wraps up the full ship tour of the Carnival Paradise. We of course went through every area of the ship. Now if you have any questions in regards to this ship, another Carnival ship, another cruise line, or anything in particular, make sure you put it in the comment section below. Now, if you'll do me a huge favor, it did take a lot of work to do this, both on the cruise as well as after the cruise, to put this together for everybody. If you'll just give me a like, I would super appreciate it. If you like cruise content, we post daily cruise content, whether it's family vlogs, cruise informational videos, cruise news, and so much more. Of course, feel free to share this video with any family, friends, anybody you think it would help, cruise groups, so on and so forth. This was made so people can learn about the ship and answer any questions, you know, especially for those that may have never sailed Carnival or maybe have never gone on a cruise. It's just here to help. And we really do just love helping cruisers in general. But that's it for this video. If you want to see more videos in regards to this ship, I have the playlist listed right here. Go ahead and click on it. It's also in the description box, and you'll find all of our videos from the Carnival Paradise. But hopefully we'll see you right back here in the next video, or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.
I woke up with the sun today, rolled out of bed and said, I'm gonna have some fun today, and that's just what I did. The birds were singing, come outside, I felt giddy like a kid. If life is like a swimming pool, you know I'm jumping in. We got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise one high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. I woke up feeling good today, my journey has begun. I gotta give a shout out to the green grass and the sun. It's a long way off, a tricky shot, but I know it can be done. Another day, another game, another hole in one. Yeah, we got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise them high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. Lift them up, all the hands, all at once, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. And keep them there, all the hands in the air, we're wishing it could last forever, baby, put your hands together. The weather's just so fine, wish I could bottle time. Cause if you only pause, you'll hear the crowd applaud. They're cheering for you now, stand up and take a bow. You know that you deserve it, today is picture perfect. Raise them high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up It's why we clap our hands. It's why we clap our hands.